to call to order the regular park board meeting for June 18th, 2013 at 7:03. Please call the roll.
Callahan?
Here.
Boyles?
Here.
Gray?
Here.
Riley?
Here.
Tillman?
Here.
Very good. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Any items to be added, removed, or changed on the agenda?
No.
Then I will make some reordering from the chair. Just on item 13, I'm going to reorder those a little bit. So item number 5 is consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to establish the consent agenda as follows. Approve the meeting minutes for the regular board meeting for May 21st, 2013. Approval of the meeting minutes for the regular or executive session for May 21st, 2013. Approval of the minutes for the executive session of April 15th, 2013. Approval of the paid expenditures, unpaid expenditures, treasurer's report, approval of purchase, and the ratification of the HVAC contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Foils. Shall I please call the roll?
Callahan? Boyles?
Aye.
Gray?
Aye.
Riley?
Aye.
Tillman?
Aye.
Motion carries. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as established.
So moved.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item number 6, guests, matters from the public. Anyone wishing to address the board this evening? Please go to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. And please be aware that we receive comment during this portion of our meeting. We typically don't dialogue, so if there is something that requires a follow-up, we will ensure that you do get a follow-up to your questions.
Okay. My name is Heidi DeMarco, and I live in Mill Creek subdivision in Geneva, Illinois. Should I go ahead?
Please.
So my name is Heidi DeMarco, and I'm here to tell you about the conditions of Levi Newton Park. My husband and I bought our house in February of 2007 when the ground was covered with snow. If we'd been looking for a house in spring, we would not have bought the park or the house, because after seeing the conditions and the poor state of Levi Newton Park, we would have realized that it was more of a liability than an asset. A few weeks ago, the residents who live on Levi Newton Park gained the Park District's attention through a campaign. We recently met with the Park District and listed the issues. In the past weeks, the residents have noted improvements observing workers in the park. Some of the issues that we discussed include weed infestation throughout the entire park and encroaching into the residents' yard, a lumpy, hard field with multiple large holes, ant infestation, chipping paint on the play equipment, mulch levels that are so low it presents tripping hazards, hazardous tree scraps that were left from last winter. Throughout our experiences with the Park District, we've received a lot of excuses for the poor care. Those excuses include, number 1, poor soil conditions. However, the residents who border the park share the soil, and we don't have the weed problems in our yards. Also, the residents that border the property care for some of the grass that resides on the park side, and that grass looks fine. Number 2, assurances that there is a plan to maintain the park. However, the residents of Levi Newton Park have to email and call excessively to complain so that someone can finally come out and cut the grass. I've also brought some pictures so you can see the state of the park and the weed conditions, along with some emails dating back from 2010 and also recent emails between the Park District and Levi Newton residents. Number 3, budget cuts from 4 years ago for all the parks for weed control. However, we've driven around and we've looked at all the other parks in Batavia, and none of them look as bad as our park. Number 4, the Park District, we treated and seeded the grass a few times throughout the years. However, the residents care for our lawns from the beginning of the growing season until the end. And we can tell you that if we weren't as diligent throughout the entire growing season, our yards would look as bad as the park. It's not a one-time deal. There's one reason the park is in such bad condition, and it comes down to that no one's taking care of it. The reason I'm here is because we've been handling the situation informally in the past through emails and calls, but we're not seeing results. And so we want it on the record. We want the public to equate Batavia Park District with Levi Newton Park. If our park looks good, so does the Park District, but if it looks bad, so does the Park District. So we would like to be able to come back in a year from now and tell you that our park looks great, but we're also prepared to come back in a month to let you know that the work conditions have decreased and that we've gone back to the old plan that doesn't work. So we're looking forward to a continued relationship. I'd like to see more information about the plans and communication, and then I just want to say thank you for the communication that has started, and we'd like to see the plan and encourage more communication. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. DeMarco, for coming out and taking time out of your schedule to address us this evening. We will have some additional dialogue with staff and get a response back to you. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Next item on the agenda is matters from the commissioners. Any commissioners wishing to address the meeting, speak at the meeting this evening? All right.
Hold on. If there was another, it's just a fluff piece, but, you know. My girls, for the second tournament in a row, took first place in the 6th grade division in our tournament, so kudos to my girls and their coaches. So on a roll, they're 10-1 so far.
Congratulations, great.
Good job.
Next item on the agenda is correspondence. Give me 1 second here. I had it here a second ago. I'd like to acknowledge 2 pieces of correspondence. One from the McKenna family. Thank you note to the Park District, and also a thank you note and some photos from Batavia Main Street regarding cocktails in the park. So we'll put those on file. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item number 9, announcements.
The River Rhapsody concert series kicks off tomorrow night at the beautiful Riverwalk in the heart of downtown Batavia. Final Say will take the stage at 7 p.m., playing a variety of alternative, classic, rock, soul, Motown, R&B, and more. The free concerts are held on Wednesdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. throughout the summer and will feature a diverse range of tunes. A variety of concessions will be available for purchase, so bring a date, the family, or some friends and make an evening of it. And set the DVR for the Hawks game. Batavia's annual Windmill City Festival will be blowing into town Friday, July 12th through Sunday, July 14th. Bring your family and friends to the Riverwalk to enjoy delicious food, an exciting carnival, a value-packed flea market, challenging contests, and more. Best of all, admission to the Windmill City Festival is free. To view the full schedule, please visit windmillcityfest.org. Runners, take your mark. The Windmill World 5K run is just around the corner, and this year it has a new date and time. Don't miss out on your chance to tackle the beautiful Fox River Trail on Saturday, July 13th at 8:30 a.m. The race is now chip-timed. Register online at signmeup.com. The cost is $25 in advance or $30 on race day. Little ones ages 5 and up can compete in the Youth 1 Mile Run prior to the Windmill Whirl. Registration is $20 in advance or $25 on race day. The Batavia Depot Museum will present the 7th Annual Quilt and Textile Show Friday, July 19th through Sunday, July 21st at the Eastside Community Center and Shannon Hall, 14 North Van Buren Street. The show runs from 1 to 6 on Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Details on the show can be found online at bataviaquiltshow.com. For more information, please visit our website at bataviaparks.org, our new website, or call us at 630-879-5235.
Thanks, Carrie. Okay, next item on the agenda is affiliate reports. We have none. Okay. Staff reports. So first we'll start with any updates staff may have on their written reports.
I got a couple. put in my report in regards to the Riverwalk fountain. This area was unfortunately negatively affected by the heavy rains early this spring, and the pumps were flooded, and then we're running underwater, which obviously isn't very good. We got the pumps installed today. We have to do a little bit of rewiring, and I'm fully anticipating that they'll be up and running for the weekend. So the fountain is coming back.
Great.
And just a follow-up on Levi Newton, as reported today by our residents. I have been in communication with them weekly, giving them updates as to our standard of care as well as what we're going to do new that week to increase our level of care, to gradually work towards getting it to an acceptable standard for both parties.
And Eric and I actually both met residents from, well, unfortunately they just left, but we met with residents out at Levi Newton Park and addressed their concerns, and we came up with an action plan: immediate care, short-term care, and long-term. And we're sticking to the schedule, and we invited them to, we said, come back 1 year from now and we'll do a before and after picture of the shots.
Yep.
In those meetings, we have an understanding, or they now have an understanding of how long some things take to rebound.
Yeah, they
We
have a
hope.
really good
Okay,
grasp on it. It
good.
was a great dynamic meeting. I think it was, I had a lot of things occur in the last couple of years that had a negative effect on what brought it to this condition, but none were more than just an excuse. So we decided that we were going to move forward from this and then show them, what we can do.
Yeah.
So,
And weed control is back in the budget for the first time in 4 years, which is really positive for the park, so.
So I'm confident that everything will be just fine.
Very good.
I have a real quick, I just received an email today from Tim Clausen, who is the operations manager for the Kids Around the World group that we have, that has done the recycling of our playgrounds. And the larger, the 5 to 12 section of the playground from Saratoga has now been assigned to go to Jamaica. They will be installing that in December of this year. And I asked Allison if I might go along and document this.
And I said, only if he takes me with.
Right.
Yeah. So I got turned down.
Imagine that. Yeah.
I thought that was, he will be sending us pictures, I'm sure, when.
But he is taking.
There was documentation in the newspaper about the other one.
Yes,
That was-
yeah, right.
That was great. That was great.
Eric Shuckoff did a nice little article.
Yeah.
About ours, and I think Geneva's went somewhere.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, I think
It's awesome.
it's a really fabulous program.
yeah.
Couple highlights in the rec department. Obviously, we're really busy right now with our camps and programs. We have added 5 camps to our portfolio for the summer, 2 lacrosse camps, 2 track camps, and a wrestling camp. So those are all brand-new programs that we've added for the summer. Camp Kaleidoscope's doing well. We're averaging between 45 and 50 kids per week. They have many activities that they do when they go on trips, and so that's gotten off to a real good start. As Carrie mentioned, Windmill City Fest is right around the corner, so it's only about 4 weeks out. And we're just putting the final touches on that event, and hopefully we get good weather. Encore Music Camp, that's a camp for middle schoolers, a music camp for middle schoolers, and that we just concluded our registration for that. We got 303 kids signed up for that, so they will be going through the camp, and then the concert is, I think, like the last Thursday in July down on the Riverwalk, hopefully. And the enrichment program, we have over 90 kids signed up for the enrichment program for the fall. So last year we had about 100 kids total. So we're hoping that that's going to continue, and we're going to be able to expand on that and maybe have morning and afternoon at most of the sites for this next year.
Great.
So,
Awesome.
thank you.
Anyone else?
My biggest update will be the website, but I just wanted to let you know that we had our 5th annual Senior Expo a couple weeks ago, and we had more than 150 people come through. It was a pretty good turnout, and we have it down to a science now. So we already met to do an evaluation, and we got a lot of positive feedbacks. Every year we do an evaluation with all the exhibitors, and we got a lot of positive feedback, and we're all set for next year already. So.
Wonderful. Rita?
Thank you. One thing I would like to add would be I attended my annual required IMREF training, and one thing we did discuss is the funding of the IMREF pension. And before the recession, it was 100% funded, and now currently we're 87% funded. Last year's returns were about 13.5% compared to the 7% that they assume. So we are definitely growing to get, hopefully within a few years, to get back to 100% funding, which is what everyone would like to have. And all the pension reform that's now being discussed and now going to new sessions, that does not affect IMREF at all.
So just for the viewing public, that reduction from 100% to 88% could simply have been the drop in the market and the value of the taking, as opposed to improperly funding.
Exactly correct, because the pension looks at, they assume 8% a year, and obviously with the first few years, they were negative, so now we're in a catch-up game at this point to hopefully get back to where we were.
So it's not unlike individual investment policies, that 401ks or SEP IRAs or things that people have at their house in terms of its valuation. So thank you. Anyone else? Board, have any questions on staff reports or additional comments? No? All right, so moving on to the Executive Director's Report. Allison, any updates for us, or?
I'd like to congratulate Commissioner Tara Gray on successful completion of the orientation program. She spent a half day with staff, and she survived. No, she did great. She learned every single facet within the Park District, and now she signed up for the Illinois Association of Park District Boot Camp that Kevin Riley went to.
How'd you do on the quiz?
Yeah, it was pass-fail. She passed. And also to thank those of you who were able to attend the Memorial Park rededication. There were over 30 residents that attended, and for those of you watching at home, that's actually quite a large number for our dedication. So thank you if you were a part of that. And we had a great time with the fruit fling. I think that's going to make its way to another one of our events somehow, some way. And again, you know, Commissioner Gray's husband can really fling a mean banana.
All righty then. All right, Board, how do you follow that?
I got nothing, not a thing.
Got a thing? I also want to thank the board for joining us last week at the special meeting that we had with the Lamont Park District, just to get the two boards together to talk about issues they face and governance and those kind of things. And I want to extend from Pat Sexton and his entire board their appreciation, and they really took a lot away from it and feel much more confident as board members leaving. I don't know what exactly that means, but we're going to find out probably the hard way. So, thank you for doing that. Okay, so next item on the agenda is item number 13, presentations. And I would like to reorder these to take C first. So I'll allow, I got them, we're good. So Allison called me last Thursday, and the board obviously was informed via our board alert. And she informed me that there was a drowning at the quarry.
Near
Drowning at the quarry. That required some pretty immediate attention from our lifeguards. And I thought it was important to bring them here this evening so the board could thank them personally. But more importantly, you know, being a lifeguard is a very important job. And, you know, you young men are here tonight representing the Park District and on a daily basis at the quarry. And I think it's very important to recognize the fact that those types of reactions to be able to do the things you do with the training that you receive are not normal, meaning people don't always do that. And I think it's exemplary that you did what you did, saw someone who needed assistance, aided them, and fellow lifeguards joined you. So joining us here this evening is Noel Gasberry, Johnny Robinson, and Austin Lewis. And I think, and there also was Marquise Jenkins, who assisted on the save. So I just thought it was important for you guys to please stand up and you come to the podium. And
Amber Smith, you too, facility
yeah,
manager.
Absolutely. So we can come up and thank you, but I'll allow the board to say anything they'd like to at this point before we join you at the podium.
Yeah, I think it's just outstanding. Most people would panic in a situation like that, but the fact that you remained composed, did your jobs the way you were trained to do, it's outstanding. It's an outstanding effort, and you should be commended constantly for the work that you do. So, thank you.
Well, as a former lifeguard myself, I know that guarding at a pool like the Quarry is a lot different than your normal swimming pool. And I think that by demonstrating that you know what to do and you do it the right way, it exudes a certain confidence on the part of our community. So on behalf of the community, we thank you.
Yeah, again, being at the Quarry, there's a lot of activity going on. You go through training. Hopefully you never use it. I think we have a safe environment over there. But you sit there and you can be lulled into just a routine. And when something happens, the fact that you can act and pull on that training, it's just excellent. So congratulations.
As the mother of 2 small children, 6 and 3, it's very good and reassuring to know that we have competent lifeguards. So great job. Thank you.
And just to add, this is really a big deal. I mean, you will remember this the rest of your lives. You'll be telling this story to your kids someday about how you were able to save a 17-year-old who was having a seizure in the water. You were able to save them and rescue them. This is such a tremendous effort. I think we all should give a round of applause for. True lifesavers. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. No, thanks.
So we let you go early. We did this early so you guys can. We know you had busy schedules. Absolutely, no.
No, I can, or yes, go ahead. No. I just wanted to add to what the commissioners and Allison have said. These gentlemen here, Noel and Austin, have been here 3 summers, and this was Johnny's first summer here so far. And I think all 3 of them did a great job last Thursday, and Marquise did very well as well. I wish he could have been here tonight. But these gentlemen have attended lifeguard training at the beginning of the season, and then they attend trainings every week, just in case a situation like last Thursday would come up, they would know what to do. These gentlemen are always on time. They attend their in-services like they're supposed to. And when it comes time to count and they're in the chair, they take their job very serious. And it showed last Thursday how they could respond to a situation, because there's many days that go by where we don't, there's no rescues or anything happens. But just like they showed us last Thursday, they were able to respond immediately. And we have heard from the family, and the 17-year-old that they rescued is doing well. So he's fine, and nothing serious or any other medical problems that happened with him, and he is doing good. So I really appreciate you guys. You guys did an awesome job last week, and thank you for coming tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So next item on the agenda, we're going to go back to A, which is our service recognition for our exiting board member, Nicole Corkin, who has joined us here tonight. So Nicole, I'm going to let you come to the podium first.
Oh, no. Am I roasting? I have to say that I had to hold back a couple of times and not do the so moved or I. So it's kind of weird to sit in the audience. It's nice. So I have my daughter here as a guest. So I've used a lot of bribery. So we'll see if I can get through what I want to say to you all. But I appreciate you letting me come here tonight. I was unable to attend the last meeting. But there were a few goodbyes that I wanted to say, a few things I wanted to say to the board and definitely to the staff before I departed. But first of all, a lot can happen in your term at the Batavia Park District. When I first started, I had a newborn and a 4-year-old, and now as I leave, I have my 4-year-old going on to middle school next year. My newborn's going into 4th grade, and I have this one over here that is chomping at the bit, who's going into kindergarten. So that's a lot of change in one term. But although I went through a lot of great experiences and a lot of personal changes in my life, I saw a lot of changes throughout the community and throughout the Park District. So I feel very appreciative and very honored to have served on the board and to have been a part of those changes. Some of them were very exciting, some of them were a little challenging, but it was all a great experience. And I think I leave the park board thinking, I'm not quite sure if I made a huge difference on the park board, or I'm not sure it's a better place because I was on the park board, but I have to say that I'm a better person by being on the park board and meeting these wonderful people that I've come in contact with and the great experiences that I've had. They say that, of course, you have to walk in somebody's shoes in order to truly get what they go through. So although I have not walked in anybody's shoes here at the Park District, definitely not Eric's, I think he's got big feet. But I have, being on the board has given me a truly different perspective of what you go through on a day-to-day basis. The amount of dedication and commitment that you give this community is just unbelievable. And so to be on this side of it, I truly get the opportunity to see what you do for this community. So I will forever be so proud, and I will be thankful for everything that you guys do, because I know what you do, every one of you. So I wanted to say thank you to each one of you for something specific. So I'm going to start with you, Eric. So Eric, besides doing a very good job at being the weatherman for the Park District, I have to say that you and your staff make our community absolutely beautiful. Not only the parks, but the facilities as well. And I know that I thought of this beforehand, so didn't know about the conversation that was going to take place before I came up here. But I know that a lot of times you hear complaints or things that happen. You know, a pipe bursts and you have to go and fix it, or somebody's not happy with the park or something, and you don't hear all of the good that you do. But I can tell you that as I sit in the lawn at the concerts in the park, or when I go down to Windmill City Fest, I'm amazed at what we live in. And we live in a beautiful area, and it's because of you and your staff. And I have to say, it's because of your awesome attitude. You have a great attitude, and I think it trickles down to the rest of your staff. So kudos to all of you for what you do. Thank you for making it beautiful here to live in and to play in too. So thank you. Carla, I'm gonna have to tell Carla personally, because I had something really good to say to Carla. Jeff. I know that accommodating the wants and needs of 20,000 plus people in the community is definitely no small task. And especially when we have a community that's always, God bless you, always changing. But I want to thank you for your patience and your willingness to open your ears and your eyes and your mind to all of the great feedback that comes your way, both positive and negative, because it helps us to make our programs better. And every year we get a little bit better, and we have to tailor-make what we do for our community to all of the changes that are occurring. And you do such a great job at that. And then again, to the fact that I've been able to kind of get a bird's eye view of what you all do, and I'm amazed at what you all do. I mean, to put on a program and an event, before I was like, oh, I had no idea. I'm like, they should do it this way and this way, to find out that you have been doing it all that way. So, so just to you and your staff, thank you for all that you do for all of our programs. Jim. Yes.
It's like Dorothy tucking to the line and then
Take the words out of my mouth. Jim, you have done a wonderful job of planning and developing our parks and open space, and I truly appreciate with you your foresight in shaping this community. And not only are you great at your job, but you do a great job of involving and engaging our patrons, and also engaging our contractors. They should be, because they're getting paid, but as well as the patrons, to make it a little piece of their project as well, to have them own it, so that in the end they can be proud of all of the accomplishments. So it's just, you are, I don't know if it's your woo and your personality. I think that's it, actually. But you've just been amazing, and thank you for what you've done. Carrie, although you have just been in this position a few short months, you have done amazing things. And I think you have a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and we need that to catapult us to the next phase. And so I'd love to see what you've done so far. The website, beautiful. All of your different ideas, I love it. So I am so looking forward to seeing all of the cool new marketing things that come our way. So congratulations to you in your new role. And Rita, you are also new in this role, and you have had a huge impact for our district. I'm so impressed with your financial insight, maybe because I have no financial insight. But I know you will help guide us in the right direction, and that's definitely what we need. So thank you. And I just met Shelley. So Shelley, you're going to be amazing. I'm sorry. And last but not least, Allison, I can't tell you enough how proud I am of all of your accomplishments. And also the leadership that you've shown in your new role. I know that you have spent many, many long hours organizing and executing your plans, and you're going to continue to do that day after day after day, but I know that it's going to pay off for you. And I want you to remember that you are truly respected throughout the community and with your staff, and the love that you have for this job and for this community shows in everything you do. So, I have full confidence that you're going to do great things with the Park District. So the board, I'm not going to get emotional for you guys, but lastly, I want to thank the board. You guys have been such a pleasure to get to know. Such great people on our board, and I think that you all have such a unique gift to give the Park District, and I think that, and I won't go into each and every one of the gifts, but I was going to do that. I could be here for hours then. But I think that each gift that you have brought to the table has truly shaped the Park District. So this board is absolutely awesome. But one person I want to point to is Mr. Callahan, because we've been on the board the very longest. In fact, we ran together, right?
We did.
And you ran again, and I didn't.
I did.
God love you. But,
I hope Chris isn't watching. She knows where I'm at, though.
But to that, actually, I do ask Pat all the time. I always say to him, and this is true, I say, when do you sleep? Because, this is a man that has a very successful business, but yet finds time to go to countless meetings and represent the park board, and just your dedication, Pat, to not only the park board and the park district, but to this community. If people knew what you bring to the table and what you do for this community, they would be asking that question wherever you go. They might, after they see this, everywhere you go, in the grocery store, at the sporting events, when do you sleep? Because you just do so much for us. So for your leadership and for your friendship, thank you. So, and Tara, I know that you're going to do an amazing job in this role. Thanks for stepping up to the plate, and thanks for doing this. You're the mom vote. Woohoo! So I will be on the sidelines watching you all, and I thank you guys so much for everything, and good luck to all of you.
Okay, you got to stay there for
We're
us.
going to stay there.
I will open up the floor to the board if they have any.
You asked the question whether or not you've left any imprint, had any impact. Your honesty, your contributions, your ability to say just the right thing at the right time that helps that conversation move along is invaluable to the board. And whatever input you think you've given, it's actually probably 10 to 20 times that. So as somebody who was new and was looking for somebody that I could emulate and work towards being a board member like, you were invaluable in helping me transition from being a citizen to a board member. So I thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, John, very much. Thank you.
Yeah, like, you know, again, being the newest, well, almost the newest board member.
There you go, you graduated.
You're a veteran now.
But when I first got on the board, it was, you're always, at least I felt that you're always someone that I could go and talk to and ask like the dumb questions to, because I know that you would.
Because I had dumber questions?
Felt smart next to you.
Always.
Well, I knew that you'd always give me a straight answer that, you know, this is kind of the lay of the land, this is what's going on, and give me some background that, you know, just that the common person would want to know and that I could help then contribute. And again, you know, that you really gave a different perspective when we were in meetings, when we were talking about the executive director, going through that whole process. You brought up different perspectives, you know, than the males brought, you know, to the table, and that, you know, it really added. You know, you said, "What did you do?" But I mean, just like John said, you affect people with what your thoughts are and your comments. It at least made me think in a different way and approach things a little bit different. So, you know, I think with anybody, you know, sometimes you say, or a person will say things, but they don't realize the impact that they have on others, and you certainly did, especially with me being new and just trying to get a feel for the whole thing. So I was looking, you know, to you as well as the board, you know, the rest of the board, but really to you, because you were, and you just had like a human quality to you. So it was really good.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin.
Nicole, I remember a cold day about 6.5 years ago when you knocked on my door. It was about 0 to get your petition signed. You know, I was proud to do that then, and I'm proud of you now. You were really the only person on the board that I even remotely knew when I came on. You've been sort of a guiding light. You've been sort of the voice of a lot of our customers. Being a mom with a young family, and that perspective has been something that's really rounded out the board. So I just want to thank you for your service and wish you good luck as you move along.
Thank you, Gary.
My turn. Well, first of all, I want to thank Pete, because I know that the life changes that you, you know, come on. Really, because, you know, I know what you went through, and it is hard to go to meetings and devote the kind of time that you devoted to this board and to this community. Certainly, you know, we've interjected our passions for this community in a variety of different ways. You demonstrate it not only in your discussion about being a Batavian and being able to reflect what this community is all about to the board when you were sitting with us, talking with us, but also through, you know, some passionate leadership through the referendums and going out and taking your heart in your hands and going up to people and talking to them and doing it so passionately that, you know, people were willing to listen. And I think it's challenging sometimes to not see results from the things that you are passionate about. But I will tell you this, I believe that your efforts, singular efforts, have made a broader impact on this community that they're not even aware of today, because I think there are people within this community that still want more for this park district based on you communicating with them. So that I can't thank you enough for. So I do have to come up to the podium now.
Did I lose my daughter?
Yeah, well, she's in the hallway. She's behind the door right there.
I think so too.
So we have a little gift for you. You know, something you can, you know, if you want, you can stick it on your dashboard or something. And it says, the Batavia Park District is proud to honor and recognize Nicole Corkin in appreciation for outstanding service and dedication as Batavia Park Board Commissioner from 2006 to 2013.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a great
I'm the last note to play on the xylophone, if you don't mind.
No, by all means.
I just want to chime in here. I've said it from the very beginning. You are the target market for the Batavia Park District, the mom, but you are so much more than that. I mean, you, she's still there. You are so much woven from the fabric of the Batavia Park District. You know, you've always been such a wonderful, amazing voice and face for the district. And you know what? There was nothing more rewarding for staff to look out into this sea of people during the concert series or Windmill City Festival or our staff, the once-a-year staff party, to look to see Nicole Corkin and occasionally the little ones with you and Pete. But you've always been so supportive, and even your efforts with the Fox Valley Special Recreation Association's foundation. Carolyn shed tears the day that she heard that you're resigning. No guilt trip. But you know, you've done so much for this community, and you know, our heart beats for you too. For as much as you love and appreciate everyone, we love and appreciate you even more. It is possible. So thank you so much for all that you've done for us and for the community.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And what was promised to the little one, because she has not made a sound?
I think we were up to 3 scoops.
You might need to put some whipped cream and cherry on that for her, too.
I know. Bye, guys. Have a great meeting.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Nicole. Okay, next item on the agenda is 13B, which is our preview of the new Park District website.
Yeah.
I would try to make this short, sweet, and thorough.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the top 10 things you should know about the new website. Number 1 is the colors. We wanted to match our tagline, "Your fun is our business." So we wanted it to be fun and bright and very inviting. And as you can see, we definitely accomplished that. This color is a little bit off. It's a nice, like, bright blue. For some reason, it's not showing the same, but you get the idea. You've all seen it. It's very bright and vibrant. I like the word vibrant. Number 2 is the seasonal slideshow that you see going. With each quarter, it will be updated with upcoming events. Right now, we're featuring the Quilt Show, Windmill City Festival, the River Rhapsody Concert Series, and Hawk Quarry Beach. So in the fall, we would feature the Haunted Quarry, things like that. So that way it stays refreshed and up to date with current happenings. The third thing is this Chat with Us feature in the top right-hand corner. During business hours, when we are open, you can click on that button and you would be connected with one of our customer relations advisors. So if you're at work and you can't pick up the phone, or if you just prefer to stay on your computer, you can ask a question about registration or hours or whatever your question may be. Click of a button, you can just chat live with one of our office girls. Number 4, if you scroll down the page, you will see the events and headlines section on the left there, the green box. That will be an updated list of upcoming events, and the headlines go into a little bit more detail about what we currently have going on, or what has happened, so that you can kind of see that we just opened a new disc golf course, things like that. So you're constantly up to date with what's going on. Number 5 are the hot buttons. These 6 hot buttons were added so that the items that are of top of mind or more popular items are easily accessible with just a click of a button. Number 6 is the search feature. So down here at the bottom, we have search our website. So if you're looking for particular information and you just maybe don't have the time to kind of dig in, you can search the website and be taken to a page that lists all the different pages that are relevant. So from here, if you were looking for park board, you could click on the boardroom and see all your lovely faces.
I don't know if I like that feature at all.
Number 7 is programs. So you'll notice going across the top here that some of these now have drop-down menus. So if there's another layer beneath that, you can just click on it to see what is in the top navigation. The programs button was added so that somebody, whether they be new to town or looking for something in particular, can see everything that we offer and be able to click on it to get a little bit more information about that particular program. So for instance, for the enrichment program, you could click on it and get all the information that you need. Number 8 is the staff directory and contact form. So under Contact Us, you can see that we have added headshots for all staff, as well as contact information, and under the recreation team, we've added what they're in charge of. So if you're looking for contact information for somebody who's in charge of teens, you could see that Kristen Bykowski is that person. And then we added, as suggested, the Parks Crew group picture.
That looks great.
Number 9 is one of my favorite features, the interactive map that was custom built for us. So on the right, you can filter by amenities. So if you are specifically looking for a basketball court and a shelter, you could click on those 2 items, filter it, and it will show you which parks have a basketball court and a shelter. And then down below, it shows you which parks. There are 17 that have those 2 features. And last but not least, number 10, is the contest that we're offering. So as a way to drive people to the new website, check out what it has to offer, and kind of dive through the different features, we have the Chuck the Duck contest, which is outlined under, sorry, I went to that too quickly. If you click on headlines, you can click on that first item there and get information about the contest. And then the browser freezes, as you can see. But basically, throughout the website, there are 5 pictures of Chuck the Duck, who is our Hillsborough Beach mascot. Find all 5 pictures, and each one asks a question. And if you answer all 5 questions correctly, you email your answers to marketing@bataviaparks.org. And then everybody who gets all of those questions correct will then be entered into a drawing for a day at the beach package, which will be valued at more than $100. It'll include everything you would need for a day at the beach, including Hillsborough Beach passes.
Cool.
So it's just our way to encourage people to go check out the website and have a little fun while doing it. We've already gotten phone calls of families doing it. The kids are having fun finding Chuck throughout the website. So, do you guys have any questions?
No, I think it looks great.
I do too.
Good.
It's
Thank you very
fantastic.
much. Thank you.
Fantastic.
This is the happiest day John's had.
Oh, you have no idea.
Can't believe it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, this, but you know what? It looks, it's modern, you know, it addresses every concern that we had of the old website is addressed in this new one.
We took that into definite consideration.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
when building the site.
yeah, it's, I mean, it's exactly what it needs to be. It's a
Carrie
wonderful job.
Carrie went back through and looked at all the user group
All the
notes,
notes.
the focus groups.
Yeah.
Just checked them all off.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Now, Gary, the maintenance and daily upkeep, is that now on your staff rather than an outside vendor?
It is, yes.
So that's
which
good.
is, yes. And that was actually one of the things that I highlighted in my board report. It's now in-house, which makes it a little bit more efficient. It allows us to update it in a timely manner, not having to rely on a third party and that person's schedule. So several staff did go and receive training, so there are several of us who can do it in the event one of us is gone, or whatever the reason may be. If there's something that needs to be addressed quickly, it can be done now. So
I just found one.
that's good.
Found one too.
I just
I
found
did-
a Chuck
I-
the Duck.
What's that?
I just found one.
You found one? Don't get into it. Yeah, don't get into it.
Is there something illegal about me being in the contest?
Read the fine print. I did talk to Pat prior to the board meeting, but just so you know, you can see the current extranet right now, but in a couple of days, we will switch it over to the new extranet.
Oh, good.
You guys will all receive an email. Shelley and I had been working on that. So it's actually going to be bataviaparks.org/extranet, and all staff and board members will receive a new username and things like that, so that you'll be able to access all the same information as before. It'll just be hosted on the current site instead.
With the same look and feel type of thing as this new one.
Yep.
Nice.
Great, nice
Great.
work.
Yeah,
Very
yeah, great.
Congratulations.
Now if I can just keep working. Yeah, well, here we go, here we go.
Great job, Carrie.
It didn't when we first previewed.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, nicely done. Just one comment about the extranet. I was going back through what I'll call the manuals and policies and things like that. And I know we have updated the policy manual and other things since the posting on the extranet. It would be good if we could have the most current of all of those documents in that format on that site.
And
So-
this is a perfect time because
Yeah, right.
since we're propagating everything and
Exactly.
scrub it.
Mhm.
So it's all.
Well, and I know
all
it's
new.
almost impossible. I mean, we generally, within a year's time, we review that manual on an annualized basis. And so the one that's on there is quite a few years old, and, I think this thing would be a good time to kind of take a look at everything that's on there and make sure it's the most current of each.
Absolutely.
Each of those things. So, great, thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda, speaking of policies, is old business policy discussion. This is the second reading for the cash handling, petty cash investment policies for the administrative manual. So, board, I'll actually do it this way. Are we looking for an approval tonight?
We are.
So I entertain a motion to approve the cash handling, petty cash, and investment policies for the administrative manual as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Gray. Now, any discussion, any comments, or any additional information, board?
Yeah, I just have a question, and this goes to what John mentioned probably about a year or last summer, and you may remember, but it has to do with the Quarry Beach and handling of cash. I'm reading in here, we have procedures, but I think there was a question, like where is money actually being put, and what's on paper and what actually happens might be
Right.
two different things. Can you talk on that?
I'm sorry, Amber has
the
left.
control of the cash that comes in at the quarry, or maybe these other where cash is being handled and there's really no receipt necessarily, that we're making sure that we're keeping all the money that we bring in.
Okay, I'll start off with the quarry. What you see in the policy is how it does work on a daily basis. They open up with a starting bank of cash, just so they have change. So if someone gives them a 20 and they need to give money back, they have something available. Everything is in the quarry is entered through RecTrack. So if it's any kind of daily admissions, or if they're buying a 10 pass, it all processes through RecTrack. At the end of the day, they run each of the stations, I'll call them, will run the report. They will balance out to make sure it's correct. And then from there, that is given to I may not have the title right, the aquatics manager. They'll put it in the safe at night. The next morning, the aquatics manager will balance it out, and they will, wait, wrong one, sorry. There's too many of these.
Quarry manager.
Yeah. So, sorry. They balance it out at night. The quarry manager takes all the funds together, including concessions, which is also entered in a RecTrack, but at the end of the day, because they don't have a till running through the process. They make the nightly deposit at the bank. So finance, and no one here at the Civic Center touches the money. The next morning, what happens is the receipt comes back up to the customer relations manager. She compares that receipt to what's been entered in RecTrack. And as long as it's correct, it processes through RecTrack. It comes into the financial software. And then the customer relations manager What she does is she gives the information to the accounting supervisor. She confirms that what is coming into the general ledger and the financial software is the same as what the deposit is, and then it gets posted. So there's a separation and internal controls throughout the whole process, so no one is, so two people are not handling the cash at that point in time. And every day that process cycles through, other than on the weekends, obviously, and Monday, everything comes back. But they do nightly deposits every night, which actually is a wonderful thing to do, because at least it's not sitting back at the quarry, which is unmanned during the night and during the nighttime.
So our processes have been tightened. This is actually a brand-new policy. We had a procedure in place due to last year with the paddle boats, but now we were able to formalize it, but staff is currently doing this.
And to Commissioner Tillman's question, they do not write down credit card information anymore either. They process it through, and if the internet's down or there's a situation going on, they do not write it down. They just have that person pay another way.
And now that you mentioned that, from what I understand, there have been some internet issues, rec track type issues down there. Has that been resolved to help things flow more smoothly, or?
I have been working with IT on that. The current budget that was passed for this year actually upgrades the Civic Center to Comcast.
Okay.
Which the issue that they're actually having is not as much of the internet connection down there, it's the talking between what is there and back here in RecTrack. So after talking to the IT consultant, they said that as long as we upgrade here, it will significantly increase.
So the
the
local
bandwidth between
server
the
for
two.
RecTrack is here?
Yes.
And that's like a client down there?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is there any way, or would it even be advantageous to have a separate copy as a backup down there in case there is a communication problem between the two that you could still process? Because from what I understand, there is a line forms when RecTrack is down because nothing can be posted. So I'm just wondering if we have a contingent, or can create, this is off topic, but if we can create a contingency plan using RecTrack still, that would then reconcile once the line comes back up. Just something to think about.
It is a fully live functional system, so I don't
Okay.
know if that would be available.
Okay.
Because it literally talks every single time someone does a transaction,
Right.
and you may have 8 terminals feeding
Coming
into
in.
the one server here.
We can
So I
add.
have to look at that, but
Yeah.
We can look into it.
Some sort of backup just to keep flowing, the traffic flowing, especially on a busy, hot day.
Right.
The last thing you want is somebody trying to buy a pass and RecTrack is down. So, but great.
And then the paddle boats, they do have a starting cash bank on a daily basis. Throughout the day, they make change through that process. And then at the end of the day, they also go to the bank with a night deposit box and drop the funds off. Now, after that happens, it comes actually to me, and I'm the one that balances it to make sure that the deposit in the bank is the same as what the deposit slip is, and then I actually post it into the general ledger. It does not go through RecTrack. We unfortunately don't have a computer down there, nor internet, to allow us to do any type of transactions like that, so it does actually come back to finance for the final approval.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any further comments? Got a motion and a second on the floor. Discussion's ended, so Shelley, please call the roll.
Callahan,
Aye.
Boyles,
Aye.
Gray,
Aye.
Riley,
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, next item on the agenda. 14B, South River Trailhead.
South River Street Trailhead.
Okay.
And this is just a very brief update. You all have this, it came as part of your package. We took Commissioner Callahan's suggestion of last month. I worked with Upland Design, and they were able to redesign the sidewalk area along Route 25, River Street up there, in the configuration that you had suggested. And I think it looks very fine.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna work real nice. It didn't really add significantly to any costs or anything. It was just kind of a reconfiguration of what was there. So if that is good with all of you, we're
I like
just
it.
gonna continue to move forward and get the construction documents going and get this project underway so that we're done by early fall probably.
Yeah, I like it.
It's been a
Do
long
you need a
time
formal
coming.
approval, or you want to?
Pardon?
You need a formal?
No,
Just
no,
a
I think we pretty much
consensus?
approved it last month.
Yeah.
We just needed that consensus. just
Very
to
good.
Show you how we changed it around a little bit and that it worked out very nice.
Super. Thank you for doing that. Next item on the agenda is 15A, planning update.
As we discussed last time, meetings have been sporadic at best. Has not been a meeting since last month. There will be one tomorrow where they will present finally Walgreens design for review. So things will start moving forward again. Typically, it's difficult to get the planning commission together in the summer months. They generally only meet once, maybe twice. This may be the last one for a little while, but at least Walgreens will start presenting something that we can look at.
Great. Thanks. Next item on the agenda is 15B, approval of Resolution 219 concerning petty cash. So, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution number 219, a resolution approving the adoption of a policy concerning petty cash to guide the use of such assets for the benefit of the Park District.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Riley. Any further discussion?
Did we not have a policy on this before, or does this replace a past policy?
This coincides with the policy that was passed earlier, but now it's actually being put as a resolution, which is what proper policy would be, to have it approved at the board level.
So Shelley, please call the roll.
Callahan.
Aye.
Foils.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Motion carries. So next item on the agenda is item number 16, Fox Valley Special Rec Association.
You know, summer camps are well underway, and so is, actually, they're still hiring for camp counselors. But, so if anybody is interested at home, contact Fox Valley Special Recreation Association. They could always use the extra help. But that's it for that. There's a lot of summer programming with Fox Valley Special Rec.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda is executive session. So I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss land acquisition 2C5 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act, as well as semi-annual review of minutes 2C21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Tillman, second by Riley. Like a race. Please call the roll, Shelley.
Callahan.
Aye.
Foils.
Aye.
Gray.
Aye.
Riley.
Aye.
Tillman.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We'll be going to executive session. We do have one item of business that will come before the board after executive session, and that is the approval of our resolution for our executive session minutes. It's actually an annual, a semi-annual requirement that the board look at our executive session minutes to determine release. So, that'll be the only item coming back before the board, so I want to thank you for joining us this month, and we look forward to seeing you in July. So thank you.
Thank you.